Good morning, everybody. What's up, you beautiful souls? Today is September 9th. We're in the Daily Stoic. Nothing to fear but fear itself. But there is no reason to live and no limit to our miseries if we let our fear predominate. Seneca, Moral Letters. In the early days of what would be known as the Great Depression, a new president named Franklin Delano Roosevelt was sworn in and gave his first inaugural address. As the last president to hold office before the 20th Amendment was ratified, FDR wasn't able to take office until March, meaning that the country had been without strong leadership for months. Panic was in the air, banks were falling, and people were scared. You probably heard the "nothing to fear but fear itself" sound bite that FDR gave in his famous speech. But the full line is worth reading because it applies to many difficult things we face in life. Let me arrest my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance. The Stoics knew that fear was to be feared because of the miseries it creates. The things we fear pale in comparison to the damage we do to ourselves and to others when we unthinkingly scramble to avoid them. An economic depression is bad. A panic is worse. A tough situation isn't helped by air. It only makes things harder. And that's why we must reset it and reject it if we wish to turn the situation around. Yes, this is beautiful. I'm my own worst enemy. There's no doubt about that. When a situation arises and I jump to conclusions and it's in the negative form and then I act out of it to protect myself, I put up walls, I get defensive. There's a lot that goes on when I'm fear-based, and it usually is all negative. Like I said, I put walls up, I start to become aggressive, and I just push people away because I'm scared of being hurt. And in turn, that usually upsets them, and they react. It cuts me off from the people who I actually love. And it starts a cycle. Even with like this pandemic, there's a lot of fear I've seen, a lot of fear that rose inside of me, a lot of insecurities that came to a head that I didn't know were there. I like to say I didn't realize what a nut I was until the world shut down, and then my conspiracy theory and my, fear of authority went through the window, and that it was all fear-based. I was not having faith in a higher power. I was not having faith in humanity, and that's something I need to keep for me, because faith in my higher power and faith in other people is it's true. It's true from a loving center. When I start to get in the blame game and basically living in fear, it's not what my higher power wants for me. It's not. It's detrimental. I'm going through a situation right now with a loved one, and it's hard. It's a jumping to conclusions. We're getting all worked up. We're not communicating. And it's all out of fear. It's not out of it's not. It's just very confusing, and it's very hard for me to maintain composure and be a solid sounding board for someone when you're getting attacked. And that's because my fear senses go off. I need to be defensive. I need to show who I am. And that personification or that image that I think I have in the world is false to begin with. What other people think about me is none of my business. And when I start getting in that mindset, of paying attention to what other people want and what they have in store for me, I'm self-sacrificing, and then I live in fear, trying to live up to that expectation of what they have for me, and it's flawed. It's never gonna work, and so I don't know. That's, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Justifiable fear, it goes on to talk about. There's things that we need. There's things that I should be wary of. There's things that I should have safeguards in place for. But should I live my life like it's going to happen? No. I need to be the change I want to see in the world. I need to stand true to Patrick and be who I am. And then if things arise, I need to not jump to conclusions and live in fear, because that shuts me off. When things happen, I need to open myself up to the people whom I feel safe with, and sometimes not even so much. And just get different ideas and be able to be vulnerable, and vulnerability is our only accurate measurement of courage. Brene Brown says that, and that reigns true to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. And so, am I courageous? Am I being vulnerable? Or am I putting that guard up because of fear? I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. You guys are beautiful. Thank you for being with me on this journey, and we'll see you.